remember where it's a game. Who remembers where they are for any Monday night football game? I remember where I was for Goff and Mahomes for Chiefs Rams when it was that good. In fact, I believe that's the season the Rams ended up losing to the Patriots in the Super Bowl. I believe it was that season, but that team and that matchup at that time, the only difference is that was ballyhooed as the heavyweight matchup for that week. Everyone had it circled that Chiefs Rams was going to be that game. And I would say, again, for a lot of the country, including obviously Fox, who knew that the Bills and the Eagles was going to be that sort of Super Bowl contending matchup, the game of the week was not circled as Bears and Niners. And certainly for the last couple of weeks, not necessarily. And it lived up and blew everything else out of the water. And the only one from this season that you could say maybe it's close to that would have been week 1 Sunday Night Football with the Ravens and the Bills. Maybe.
The frustrating thing about this game was it just seemed like the Bears kept throwing the ball to the sideline and there was just nobody there. And every single time they swung it out to the perimeter, it's like they got big chunk yardage out of it. I mean, Burden had a 35-yarder. Loveland had a 36-yarder. Ja'Day Walker had a 19-yarder in the flat. Swift caught a double digits, catch out of the backfield. I mean, they did what they wanted in the flat, and the Niners really didn't cover it very well. As far as Caleb goes, though, I think that it's hard to know: are we watching the greatness of Caleb? Or are we watching the greatness of Ben Johnson and these weapons? But I will say this. He's not there yet. What was real, the stat that I read to I think Todd Husek, who was sitting next to me early in the game, that I was like, whoa, keep this one in mind. Caleb Williams this year on the run completes 25% of his passes. Oof. And what happened in this game? They got into a big, tight battle shootout with the Niners, and Caleb Williams had 2 or 3 throws. I mean, yes, did he throw for 330 and 2 touchdowns? Did he make some amazing plays? Absolutely, he did. But he also had 2 or 3 throws that guys were wide freaking open, and he's on the run, and he airmailed it by 10 yards, 8 yards. There was one, I think, to Loveland, where he was on the run to his right, and Loveland is right there. There's not a defender within 4 or 5 yards of him. He threw it 3 yards beyond him and 2 yards out of bounds. I mean, it was like, whoa, that was a major erratic throw. So look, he can run, he can throw. He just can't he can't throw on the run. Like Ben Roethlisberger was, big guy, didn't run well, but man, when he ran, he could throw very well on the run. It's an art form, and Williams isn't there.
Thank you for saying that, though. It's an art form, and here's why. Because there's something in the mentality of when you take off. Am I running or am I running to pass? And that's a key difference. That's where Lamar Jackson took another step. Lamar Jackson now, when he takes off, he's got the ability to throw entirely across his body, direct to somebody in the end zone the way he wants. That's what makes him elite. That's probably the biggest difference between him and Caleb Williams. Running to just run and make a play is fine. And even Jalen Hurts, who I love to sing his praises, he more often than not is going to run to throw the ball out of bounds. He does that so that he's not turning the ball over as often because he can't pinpoint it when he's on the run the way he wants to. So he'll run and roll out, and instead of running for yardage, he'll throw the ball to live another down. Caleb, when he's throwing it to teammates, is not quite precise with that, but there's a very small pocket of players that are great at that skill.
What's crazy is one of them seems to be the last pick in the draft, and the one that isn't was the first pick in the draft. And it's kind of like, how do you coach height? You can't coach a guy to be taller. Nope. How do you coach accuracy? It's a hard thing to coach. You either are or you aren't. So this is Ben Johnson's number one offseason task and what he'll be working on with Caleb Williams, trying to bring up that accuracy. And it is Brock Purdy's accuracy that literally made him stand out to Kyle Shanahan as the last pick in the draft, as he's got him out there with Jimmy Garoppolo and Trey Lance. And Jimmy Garoppolo and Trey Lance had all sorts of athletic attributes and things that Brock didn't have, but what Brock had was accuracy. And that is clearly the name of the game in Shanahan's offense. And I think it was certainly the difference in a game that had, the razor thin margin that last night's game was. 2 incomplete passes might have been the difference in the 49ers winning or losing this game. And certainly an incomplete pass at the end of the game was the difference in the Bears losing the game. It was.
And by the way, and Damon, while you get this, let's be clear about something. So that was Brock Purdy against Caleb Williams, who largely not in the MVP conversation and won't be for this season necessarily. And as we talk about the game that was the marquee game of the week in the Bills and the Eagles, that was the Super Bowl MVP against the regular season MVP in a 13-12 game in which each guy just took a half off offensively. Each one of those quarterbacks was just ineffective entirely for a half of football in their game. And yet you had Brock and Caleb toe to toe. There wasn't a moment where either one allowed the other one to breathe from an offensive standpoint.
And the game ended on, whoever, Josh, the Buffalo Bills quarterback, best quarterback in football, hasn't won anything. He smoked a layup.
He had it.
Smoked a layup.
He had it. He had it.
Wild receiver in the back of the end zone just overthrew him by 10 yards.
Their play was there, and he throws it 4 yards past Shakir. I mean, that was there to have, and certainly as an Eagles fan, I knew it. But it's just funny how these games unfold, and really how the entire season unfolds. And I just want to say one thing, and the NFL is not nearly as elastic as an MLB season, as an NBA or NHL season with the sheer amount of games. But if we preach anything here, it is patience. I will say for the three of us, as crazy as we get in any one moment, we're also smart enough to say, will you please wait to give me the report card until I've taken the final? Will you please just allow me that? Let me get through. I understand I'm not trending in the right direction in your class right now, but at least wait until the end. Let me get all of the materials, and then I'll turn something in for you. And the Niners, through 18 weeks, are going to play for the 1 seed. And as a team contending in the NFC, you cannot be in a better position.
This team.
Well, and let's talk about the number one reason for that. The number one reason that the Niners are competing for the 1 seed is Mac Jones.
Thank you.
And the one thing from being around Brock Purdy his whole career with the Niners is you get to see him, you get to talk to him in a bunch of different scenarios, little snippets, casual conversations at his locker. You get to see him interact with his teammates. His one overarching trait is his ridiculous Michael Jordan, Derek Jeter, like Tom Brady, like competitiveness. He is sickly competitive. I mean, you can't joke. You're playing tiddlywinks. He wants to beat you. He's serious about his golf game. He's serious about competing. And when you got Mac Jones, and then Mac Jones came in and played well and won those games. So now he did his part to keep them in the mix. But then he's also, while he's your best friend because he kept you in the mix, he's also your number one enemy in some ways because he's the guy that can do your job. We all, whether we want to admit this or not, we are all better if there's a guy sitting on the other side of the glass who could actually do your job maybe as well. We're all better if somebody is good. I was a better host in my early days in the 90s because Damon was screening my phone calls and he was jazzed and he was into it. And we had a killer show. My co-host was terrific. We had a terrific show. But his presence and his I'm going to be good made us better. And it's not accidental that Joe Montana's greatest run was with Steve Young sitting right there. And I'm not saying Mac Jones is Steve Young, but Mac Jones's last game that he played, he completed 85% of his passes.
Awesome.
And Brock Purdy got back on the field. Literally, I mean, if you want to look at Brock Purdy's game log, Brock Purdy has been awesome since he came back. And why is that? You know what? He heard his home fans cheering loudly for Mac Jones, and Kruger. Some of them saying,
Larry was a system radio host.
Yeah. I was a system. That's right. I call Kev my system son. But yeah, I mean, Brock Purdy is playing great, and he heard those people calling for Mac Jones, and he saw Mac Jones. He knows Mac Jones is good. And I don't believe for a second that we're not seeing the very best of Brock Purdy because he's at a place where he's developed, but maybe equally as important, there's a guy sitting right there that can do the job and take everything that you got. And he's super, super, super competitive. That's his overarching trait.
Does any of this apply to Kyle Shanahan? Because Kyle Shanahan, for maybe the first time in his career, has a dude sitting right next to him who could take over. And a lot of people, Robert Saleh should be the head coach. I think we are watching the single best month of Kyle Shanahan's entire career right here. I mean, they won last night down 4 Hall of Famers.
Well, Damon, I think you might be comparing him to the wrong guy. I think he might be motivated actually by that guy on the other sideline last night, who's now being hailed as this offensive genius. Everybody talks about the genius of Ben Johnson and the genius of Ben Johnson. And Kyle Shanahan's probably sitting there going, hey, man, I've been doing this. I've been to 2 Super Bowls.
I've been doing this with the last pick in the draft. You got the number one. You got the number one. You also had Goff. You had all the weapons in Detroit. Fear fuels us all, Larry, to your point. It's fear that fuels us. It's not really the success. It's the fear of losing it. It's the fear. And who understands that better than Brock Purdy, the last pick in the draft, to watch Trey Lance get a chance for 5 minutes to be the starting quarterback of this team? See you later. Trey Lance was given 5 good minutes to be the starting quarterback in San Francisco, and Brock took that job. Guess what? When you end up with the girl that cheated on her boyfriend to be with you, you know what you're thinking? It could happen to me.
Right.
And if you're not, you're a dummy.
You should.
Right. Cheating is in her playbook. When's she going to run it against me?
Yep. So this organization moves fast at that position. You want to talk about being twitchy as a quarterback? How about being twitchy as the guy who makes the decision about the quarterback? This organization has been outstanding at choosing and moving on from a quarterback standpoint, and Brock Purdy embodies that. The other thing about Ben Johnson, I want to say for sure, clearly and without question, the coach of the year will be Ben Johnson. And it's not only because about what he's done.
I think it's Vrabel.
How about this?
Vrabel, dude. I think it's Vrabel. He's in the media hotbed. Their team last year won 4 games.
Yeah, 13 losses to 13 wins.
Yeah, they're going to be the 1 seed.
What about the idea that Detroit, see, part of it is not just what you do at your place. And I understand Tennessee is a disaster as well, but Detroit was at a point, right? Detroit was, quote, on the cusp to miss the playoffs the season that Ben Johnson is gone, and for him to turn Bears worst to first. Doesn't that say and give Ben Johnson a little more there? I would argue that he's doing more there than what Vrabel's doing in New England with Drake May. And it's close. I'm not saying this is a runaway, but if you take Detroit into account, Ben Johnson's coach of the year.
Well, why is Shanahan not coach of the year? None of these guys lost their starting quarterback for half the year.
Liam Cohen would like to have a seat at the table, right?
Yeah, and he'll get one. But Tampa's falling from a certain Tampa could miss the playoffs also, and that'll play a part here, right? Obviously, what happened at the place you left.
You mean Jacksonville?
No, I'm saying I'm saying in other words, because Liam coming right. I'm saying like if you consider Baker, if you consider where Liam was and where they will be, there's part of that as well. So Jacksonville certainly deserves it. Yes, they do, and also. Week 18 is going to play a factor in Coach of the Year because Niners as the 1 seed gives Shanahan more of that conversation. Jacksonville as a 1 seed gives more of that conversation. New England as a 1 seed gives more of that conversation. Seattle is more of that conversation. And by the way, I don't know if you saw what I put out on Twitter on this one. How about Sam Darnold? Back-to-back seasons, Week 18, chance to be the 1 seed or a road wild card disaster. And as much as you're thinking, you're right, Damon, as much as you're thinking, oh, well, Darnold, this has been a much better season than he had last season. No. Before week 18 in Detroit, we all thought the same thing about Darnold. The next 2 weeks are going to tell you everything you want to know about what Darnold has done in Seattle versus what he did in Minnesota. Because it's those last 2 weeks in Minnesota that spelled the end of his time there.
How many 49ers fans were like, oh, this one's over the minute that pick six started the game? I mean, I saw it on I was doing the live stream and I saw the doubt just go through everyone. And I just kept on saying, a lot of game left.
And Trent, right? And for Trent to come up lame there.
That was,
that's football. Football is so emotional. I mean, it's like it seems like the bigger the games, like there are big moments like that. Oh my God, Purdy's out for the game. He got his elbow ripped out. Oh my God, he just threw the worst thing that you could possibly do is throw a pick six on the first play. He throws a pick six. Oh, but wait, it's worse because Trent Williams is now hurt and the backup tackle can't play a lick. Oh, but wait, now the backup tackle plays great and the Niners immediately move down the field. I mean, it was an incredible game. It was so many narratives.
Here's a little narrative that a lot of people probably aren't fitting into the first 33 minutes of their show, but we will. Jake Tongas, Mini Kittle. This guy's been unbelievable. He really is. Larry, you and I both saw it at training camp. We're like, this dude, something's going on here. He is literally the best backup tight end this team has had since the Delaney Walker, Vernon Davis days. He has been fantastic. 7 catches for a career high 60 yards last night and a touchdown. His 5th touchdown of the season. Now, let me just give you the list. Dallas Goedert and Trey McBride have 11 touchdowns as tight ends. Jake Ferguson has 8. Kittle, Hunter Henry, Brock Bowers, A.J. Barner, Harold Fannin Jr., 7 touchdowns. Then it's Darren Waller, Tucker Kraft, Colby Parkinson, Mark Andrews, 6 touchdowns. All of those guys play starter snaps.
That's for sure. That's for sure.
They are all starters. Jake Tongas, Travis Kelce, Colston Loveland, first-round pick. Tyler Warren, first-round pick. Kyle Pitts, first-round pick. And Dalton Kincaid have 5.
Why'd you move past Travis Kelce so quickly there, by the way? That could have been your entire argument. He's got as many as Travis Kelce. What are we talking about? He has as many as Travis Kelce.
But Travis Kelce is now, old man, done with football.
Is he the starting tight end for the Chiefs?
Jake Tongas's snaps played to touchdown ratio in just terms of tight end has to be one of the most elite snaps played to tight end touchdown ratios of all time. There is a math equation in there that I'm not smart enough to do.
There's a fantasy football equation to that. There is. I mean, that's it.
He won some people their fantasy title last
Absolutely
night.
He did.
I'll say this too. If you stepped into a, fill-in role and you nailed it the way that he nailed it, you'd be like, hey, man, I want a seat at the table. I just filled in on this show, and I was great. I deserve a show. And then what happened was George came back, and yes, Tongas was a little bit banged up. So maybe for a week or two, his inactivity was about, just rest up, get your body right. But then there was like 4 or 5 games where he just didn't play, basically, or played special teams. Look what he's done the last 2 weeks. Last week, he had the fumble recovery in the first half, which was maybe the biggest play of the game. I mean, the forced fumble by Jair, but he got the fumble. He fell on the ball, which is, Johnny on the spot. And then this week, he steps in for Kittle, and he didn't miss a beat. And the greatest part about this guy is that he is totally a team guy. It's like Kittle's the man. He knows it. And he doesn't say anything. He just goes about his business. He made a catch last night that was low off his shoestrings on the run.
Yes.
I mean, the guy's hands are top notch. And the fact that the Niners haven't gone 2 tight ends and used him and Kittle in the red zone. I mean, the Niners have red zone options that they haven't even explored yet.
I think
they're still one of the best.
Saving.
Yep. Saving the 12 personnel to bust out when no one's really prepared for it or expecting it. And look, when no one wants to talk about
coming against the Rams,
no one wants to talk about the end of George Kittle because, George Kittle #forever, right? I mean, the guy's just, you want him around. Not only is he a great first ballot Hall of Fame tight end, he's also the team's mascot, the cheerleader. He's the comedian. He is everything you need to keep a locker room light, bouncy, feeling good. Kittle is just an A+++ football player.
And week 17, Week 17, he's doing his thing. He's every bit of George Kittle at an elite level in week 17 as well. So, there's no part of that.
And he was missing last night and the Niners didn't miss a beat. That is the job that Kyle Shanahan has done is just absolutely incredible. And I feel like we got to talk about the job that Christian McCaffrey is doing here because Christian McCaffrey, it's how many guys, by the way, his next touch will be his 400th touch of the year. He's already touched the ball more than any 49er who's ever played for a team in a single season. He had that at halftime last night. 96 catches, most by any 49er running back ever. And somehow, This guy is running better in week 17 than he did back in week 7. He is not human. He is an alien. You give him a little bit of daylight, he's gone. I mean, you saw his longest run of the year happened last night when he got around that corner and then dipped back in bounds instead of taking the easy way out. God, I hope his oblique is okay. You could see he was hurting a little bit at the end of that game. I don't know if that was a cramp. His 17 total touchdowns tied with Jerry Rice for the third most in any season. CMC is now behind CMC in 2023 when he scored 21 and was named Offensive Player of the Year. Jerry Rice, 1987, 23 single season touchdowns is the franchise record. This is a mouthful. I think Christian McCaffrey is one of the 10 greatest 49ers who have ever played for this team. And I understand that is a big bill to fill. Big bill. I think he's in it. I think he's in the conversation already. There is no one who unlocks everything that Shanahan wants to do as much as this guy. Christian McCaffrey is one of the greatest football players you will ever watch in your life.
Okay, if he goes 1,000, Damon, you have to do a one-off video saying exactly what you just said. If he goes 1,000 rushing and receiving, you've got your path to that argument. You do. I mean, history is on your side at that point.
What is he away? I mean,
110 receiving. So it's not impossible depending on what the play calling is against Seattle. It's not impossible. It's not.
No, it's not
and if you're in another shootout, look what he did by halftime yesterday. Yeah,
shows how great Roger. I mean, shows how incredible that stat. I mean, really, to me, Christian McCaffrey's season, when you think about it in that context, you think about how great he is another example of why Roger Craig belongs in the Hall of Fame. Oh. By the way, how incredible could a Niners-Patriots Super Bowl be with Belichick, Kraft, Gore, and Craig all potentially getting inducted in the Hall of Fame? That could happen. It will be announced Super Bowl week. You got that Niner documentary on AMC coming out that week as well. You have our guy Curtis Robinson up for the NFL Walter Payton Man of the Year Award, which will be announced at the NFL Honors during Super Bowl week as well. That Super Bowl week could just be an epic 49er Patriots showdown of dynasties. I mean,
the idea that after the Colts game, after you touch down from Indy, winning on Monday night, to know that you don't have to get on a plane again and you can win the Super Bowl, that's incredible. To control things this way from a team that had the season from last year that we'll all just want to forget about, to know that it's right there, this is the opportunity. I mean, this is it. I mean, for all of the Niners fans who doubted at any point any part of this, it is right here, culminating in Santa Clara at the end of it.
Well, I mean, look, I got to be honest with you. I don't think I'd bet on this defense to win anything. I mean, they should. This is a terrible defense. This is objectively bad football. They miss tackles. They get no pass rush. The secondary is burnable like toast in a freaking toaster. It is. They're going to need to score 40 to do anything. I don't know if they're going to find an offense as dangerous as Chicago's was. And you don't talk about like weird Indiana's in the Rose Bowl, things I've never said. Chicago's got a dangerous offense, like shit I've never said in my life. But it's both.
Well, who's got a better offense in the NFC playoffs than the Bears?
If you look at run game, nobody. And Larry, have you said his name yet? Manungai? I mean, you love you some Manungai, and has that come to life?
I'm a Manungai fan. I mean,
you are a Manungai. You are a Manungai. Yeah, that's what you are.
Manungai. I mocked him to the Niners 19 times.
Yeah,
no, but let's go back to my question. I mean, you just mentioned that you don't like this defense, and that's why you don't like the Niners in the playoffs, maybe. But I mean, who's got a better offense than Chicago? Seattle doesn't. I don't know if Philly does. I would say Carolina doesn't. Green Bay doesn't. Maybe the Rams.
So I actually want to say you moved past Seattle quickly. And if you watch what Seattle went toe to toe with the Rams 2 weeks ago. Seattle in a close game ended up pulling away late from Carolina on offense. Seattle has a sneaky good offense, and it's because they have two good runners. They have an elite wide receiver. They have an elite wide receiver, and they are getting outstanding at the moment quarterback play. Now, granted, they nearly beat the Rams twice when they had 9 turnovers combined, but They are getting quarterback play from Sam Darnold that they did not get at that level from Geno Smith a year ago. Period.
I hear you. I just don't believe that strongly in their run game, their O-line, or Darnold. And I think they're buoyed. I mean, they scored 40 twice this year. They scored 40 in week 3 against New Orleans. They scored 40 against Arizona. You may have to score 40 to beat this 49er team. You might, especially since they're going to do it at home.
The 49ers have gone over 40 points in back-to-back weeks for the first time in 30 years.
Their offense is cooking. Absolutely cooking.
Ridiculous. I mean, Shanahan has gotten more. He's gotten more water from a stone than anyone could have ever imagined. I mean, what this season should have been over in week 7.
Again, Mac Jones. I mean, I said Mac Jones could keep this team afloat for 5 weeks. He actually pushed beyond that, and you got more out of Mac than you even could have expected. This season had a chance to unravel. Nobody the Houston game. After the Houston game, come on, who saw week 18 1 seed in their crosshairs? The Houston game was a catastrophe. The Houston game was never a game against a team at that point that had not established an identity at all this season. Houston was a clusterfuck early in the season. And San Francisco
they started 0-3.
Yeah, come on. That was the game where you had to say, all right, we just don't know. This is the equivalent. This is just not taking advantage of the schedule, and it may just not happen.
Well, I mean, here's the other thing that we're not really talking about. Guys have really stepped up. Juwan Jennings has more touchdowns than Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase combined. Think about that.
Say that again. Say that again.
Juwan Jennings has more receiving touchdowns than Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase combined.
How? Maybe he is a $20 million, but he's definitely not. But it's incredible. It's incredible.
Yeah. So, I mean, JJ has stepped up. CMC has stepped up. The area, though, where
Ricky Pearsall played well last night. I think we need to throw that out there.
Yeah, please.
Well, you know what? I walked up to him. He was holding court. I came in late. I didn't want to stand it behind the 9th person, so I just waited till he was done talking. I couldn't hear what he was saying anyway. And I walked up to him, and I'm like, hey, man, you know, and he knows I've been roasting him, and he watches all this stuff. And so I said, hey, man, I just want to let you know, man, you know, I call it straight. If you play good, you know, you play good. If you play bad, you play bad. But I just want to say, hey, man, that was a hell of a game. Incredible performance. He's like, I appreciate that, man. I appreciate it. And so it's like, you know, he's feeling it. He's a good dude who wants to be great. And he's a good player too. He's having a hard time. He had that hip drop tackle that cost him. I mean, that's obviously an illegal play. By the way, there was no fine at all. How weird is the NFL? No fine at all, I think, for the hip drop tackle on Kittle last week. But there was a fine on Diamador Lenore for trying to punch out the ball from the running back in the Colts game, like after the whistle. And he was fined like $12,000. They took 12 grand out of his pocket for punching at the ball, and these hip drop tackles, nothing. And it's against the rules, and it can ruin a guy's career. And but I mean, Ricky stepped up. He was huge, and that was one of the reasons I was really nervous. I was like, you know what, the Bears play, they mix it up front with all kinds of 4 or 5 different rushes, different plans, but they're very constant on the back end. They play man to man. And the Niners don't have a lot of man-to-man receivers, man beaters, as they call them. And Ricky is that guy. Ricky is their best man beater. So I'm like, man, Ricky has to step up. He can't be along for the ride. He can't be just running routes and 2 catches for 14 yards. He's got to make some plays. And sure enough,
85 yards. 85 yards. That was a tremendous performance. And really like the outlet guy, right? I mean, every time you needed one, you had it. And then, by the way, I mean, in regards to man beaters, I mean, Jennings makes the play of the game. Really, when it comes on offense, the play of the game is that long touchdown with Jennings with massive yak all over it.
Well, and
great blocking on that too.
Awesome block. Awesome block.
Was it Juice or something? Somebody had a great block.
I think it was Pearsall. I'd have to check.
Pearsall. You're right. I think it was Pearsall. He sealed the edge, and JJ. Hey, by the way, we didn't even mention this one. How awesome was the hook and lateral
Oh,
Bears tried
and
at the very end.
and it ended up being a great tackle. It got the first down, but that tackle ends up being the key to the game.
To call that play right there.
That was a ballsy call.
That is a ballsy big call, man.
But it also, I think, helped the Niners get into the win column because the tick, 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 that play should have been run out of bounds. I mean, if that pops for a touchdown, it's the freaking play of the year, and it's the one of the 10 greatest offensive plays the Chicago Bears have ever run in the regular season.
Offensively, it's on the list. It's probably on the list already, even though it didn't win the game.
Right. But
I think teams ought to use that more because it
was used twice on Sunday. The Bills used it also, and the Bills nearly beat the Eagles on that play.
All right, so we're sitting here. It is 10:49. We're almost have 2,500 people watching. Everybody hit like and subscribe. If you hit like, that just helps more people in the algorithm find the stream. If you hit subscribe, anytime any of us go live, you'll get the alert. We are streaming today on all 3 channels. So Damon, of course, has got the Plus. I've got the Krug Show. Sammy does his own channel as well. And Sammy, tell people the name of your channel and how people can find you, the best way to connect with you, whether it be on YouTube or social media.
Please, absolutely. Reach us on social media, but also right here on YouTube at Thinking Out Loud, Siciliano and Sam. You'll see content from me, from Andrew Siciliano as well. And on Instagram, we are live right now on my IG at Sam Batesh as well. And I love it when we get together. Thanks to Krug Show. Thanks to Bruce Plus. I mean, this is the power of what YouTube can be. And we love being here for the Niners fans. And what you said, I see in the comments, by the way, Larry, people are already excited that JJ listens to the show, that Ricky listens to the show, watches the show as well. And they want to get messages to the 3 of them here as well, to the both of them as well, which is pretty cool.
Go ahead. Go ahead, David.
So Juwan Jennings is, I don't think we would come back from the lab with Juwan Jennings, right? He is just the guy in the role right now. But what Juwan Jennings, I think, encompasses maybe as much as any Niner is the old Coastal Carolina coach who's like, I don't want cats. I want dogs. I want dogs.
Some dogs.
Juwan Jennings is
cats. Kitty cat.
There's a lot of things he ain't, but what he is a dog.
Got to make sure my wristbands look right.
That guy is a dog, and I would want him in my foxhole when the bullets start flying.
Dude, I mean, the guy scores a touchdown every week.
I'll say this. You know what sucked last night? The officiating. Both ways. So the 49ers were helped to win this game by one of the most bullshit defensive holding calls on C.J. Gardner-Johnson you will ever see in your life. You go ahead and look at that replay. Tell me where the foul was. I don't get it. I thought Juwan Jennings, by the way, that was pass interference on the pick 6. I thought they were all over him. I thought there was another.
There was a PI on the pick 6 for sure, but now there was another PI on another play beyond that one.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I just thought that was a bullshit flag-heavy football officiating crew that couldn't get. They were stuck between let them play and get ticky-tack.
You know what's really lame is when you have multiple flags that you pick up.
Oh,
I mean, that's also
a good so indicator. Frustrating.
It's like, we decided there's no penalty, and that happened 2 or 3 times yesterday. By the way, this is always a great
Collins
scene.
Leverage play. Where was the foul on the Alfred Collins leverage play?
How about the worst call of the game was the Tatum Bethune dove at a guy who was flying down the field, and they called him on a low block. A linebacker he's not an offensive lineman. He is a linebacker, and they gave him a penalty because he went too low on a guy who was trying to blow him up. I mean, it was
and that's the thing. He went through a player to make a tackle, which is called what's that? It's called football. That's what that's called. That's right.
Is there anything to what Puka Nacua said a week ago? Even though everyone was making fun of it and thinking he was out of his mind for saying that the refs at this point, they know they're on TV as well and they want their time. In a league that comes down to such slim margins, you had a 13-12 game, you had this game 42-38, but again, comes down to one singular play. I still think this league needs to find a solution about pass interference. I understand we had a season of looking at review on pass interference. Pass interference decides games. Calling it or not calling it when it is egregious, it is the difference between ball games, and this league needs to figure it out. I don't know if the easiest thing is to just make it a 15-yard penalty the way it is in college football, but something needs to happen regarding pass interference. It's too much.
It can't be a spot foul anymore.
That's it.
15 yards, that's it.
Well, but no, then you're going to have guys wrapping guys up and inside the 2-minute warning. It's got to have some different. It's got to be some variation.
End zone can be at the 1 yard. I would say end zone could be in the 1 yard line still.
But you're hitting on something though. I think is a major part of why the Niners have been great this year. Penalties. Almost every game that goes by, they commit fewer penalties than their opponent. Last night was another example. The 49ers are almost totally eradicated the pre-snap penalties, and their penalties are way, way down. And guess who's the best team in the NFL with penalties? The Rams. So, and penalties are a lot about discipline, a lot about coaching. It's a lot about repetitions. I really think 49ers have a great coaching staff.
By the way, Tatum Bethune, don't pull on anyone's face mask anymore, dude. Tatum Bethune.
Dude, that was
good
terrible.
God, that was a bad penalty that he took.
All right, let's play this one. This is inside the Niner locker room after the game. Always a good scene. Here is a little bit of Kyle Shanahan in the room with the guys.
Hey, guys, so proud of this team, man. Hey, what we just did at the Indy, all right, they beat everyone there in 2 minutes, but you guys were the best when your best was needed, man. All right, you stopped and got us that win, man. Austin, where you at, dude?
Austin Pleasance. Good for him.
Good for him.
Hey, for real, though, that's the story of everybody in this team so far, man.
Hey, let's go, fellas, man. Way to be great, man. Everybody's sticking together, man. It's real love in this building, and you can feel it, bro. When we play with passion and love, and we can do anything we want to do, man. Let's do it, man. Niners on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Nice moment. Austin Pleasance, that's probably the greatest moment of his professional life right there. I mean, think about that for a second. You're grinding. You're playing Pop Warner. Now you're playing freshman. Oh, you're good enough to play JV ball. And all of a sudden, and here you're finally getting a shot. It's national TV. It's the game of the year. Trent Williams is maybe the best tackle of your generation. He cannot go. You have not played a single snap of real football since August. You didn't play in September. You didn't play in October. You didn't play in November. It's almost January. And now it's like go time. Go time. Could you imagine what's going through his mind as he's running out there going, I've got to replace Trent Williams, national TV, Monday Night Football, the biggest audience of the year, huge game, playoffs, first number 1 seed on the line. Dude, he stepped up.
Well, and
he played incredible.
Let's talk about how
good he,
once. That's crazy.
How good he looked in training camp when he was playing against air. Then the minute the pads went on, we saw Bryce Huff dust him on
he's getting
every
beat by
single snap. Every
speed,
snap.
power, everything was bothering him.
You and I did an apology show together. Like, sorry, everyone. We talked about Austin Pleasance. We shouldn't have. This guy can't play standing up. And he was fan-freaking-tastic last night. Good for him. That's got to feel great. And
I'll say this, the Niners O-line has been ripped and ripped and ripped. And since about, I don't know, it's hard to say exactly, week 3, 4, 5, somewhere in there has been a sharpness to their practices. I wish some of the videos are on my YouTube page. You can check them out. But there is a crispness to their practice. There's an intensity. They're driving themselves really, really hard. They're hearing the criticism. They're intent on not being the weak link. And how could you not be when Purdy's doing his thing, Shanahan's doing his thing? Look at this group of weapons. If the offense isn't awesome, the O-line's going to get the blame.
But Larry,
they know it.
I'm going to go back to your original point. You know why? And you know why it changed? This is what happens on a team when the backup quarterback comes in, especially when the backup quarterback plays so much differently than the starting quarterback. Is Mac Jones elusive? Nobody would put that on his card at all, right? In regards to adjectives on Mac Jones, elusive is not it. The line knew if we survive this, we have to protect this guy now in a different way. Brock can get around certain things. Brock can make up for certain deficiencies. Not Mac Jones, not in that way. They had to protect Mac in a different way. The team, everybody put more on them at that point, and it showed, and it carried through week 17.
I think Jake Brendel deserves an awful lot of credit here. He is absolutely living up to the Forrester billing since the bye week. No doubt about it. We haven't used Colton McKivitt's name in a negative way, going on like 6 weeks of football here. He deserves an awful lot of credit for this. The Connor Colby, Spencer Burford rotation, that ended. Burford has locked down the job again. He's done a really good job. And this is the team that is the walking definition of the concept of next man up. And there is no sport out there where anyone's performance isn't directly related to how everyone is playing around you, quite like football. It is a collective at all times. At all times. It's never just a guy doing a thing. We said, oh, it's all Christian McCaffrey. And in many ways it is, but in a lot of more ways it isn't. Everyone has really come together. And who was that? Was that who did the wrap up in the locker room? Was that Kendrick Bourne? Again, Kendrick Bourne, a guy that they trade for mid-season, is only kind of used, but he is this leader in the locker room somehow.
He's a beacon of positivity. And here's the other thing too. You guys heard the Bill Parcells Hall of Fame speech where he's like, an NFL locker room's an interesting place. And he's like, there are dark, dark corners of the locker room. And there's deep resentment and anger. And sometimes guys, there's some ugliness in the room. And really, if you think about it, you got type A personalities. It's a job that's on TV. There's all kinds of public pressure. And then they all have incentives. And you just mentioned Bourne. I mean, Bourne stepped into the room, had a couple 150-yard days, basically. And then all of a sudden, I think he realized, oh, shit, I'm on this team where Jawan Jennings is trying to earn these incentives. And he's a super powerful presence. And then suddenly it was like Bourne totally disappeared. And they went to Jennings, and more Jennings. Last night, Jennings earned his $666,000 incentive bonus for reaching 600 yards on the season.
Good for him.
And you know what? I think that, you're going to see kind of a relaxed Jawan Jennings, not relaxed as far as he's going to let his foot off the gas pedal, but he's now gotten that big achievement. Bourne got his $500,000 bonus. So it's like you got a business with real dollars and big dollars on the line for each guy. Their careers are all on the line. One guy's success is another guy's failure. One guy's opportunity is another guy's inopportunity. I mean, it's like it's keeping the room together is not as easy as it would be at Deloitte and Touche. I mean, it's not as easy when you got bonuses and millions of dollars on the line and ego and attitude and then you mix in violence and injury and pressure and I mean,
And Bourne had maybe from a receiving standpoint, Bourne had the performance of the year. The game in LA with Mac Jones at quarterback is the receiving standout of the season. First of all, that win is such a linchpin in everything. When you look at what the NFC record, right, the conference record, the division record, the split with the Rams, all of it hinges on that game. That win you can circle as the most important before week 18. That's the most important win. The most important win is that win without Brock in LA, and Bourne was the difference in that game.
One quick one. The Niners are dogs now in Seattle. Seattle's a 1.5 point favorite in
Not
this
in Seattle.
game.
Not in Seattle.
All
Against
right,
Seattle. Yeah.
Against Seattle. In Levi's. Saturday night. Niners are dogs. Should they be? Should they be dogs? They beat Seattle earlier this year in Seattle. Purdy's
I'm shocked this isn't. This looks to me like a push. This should be the Niners should be -3. This is just an obvious, give them the home field 3 and just call it that. But we don't know yet. This looks like a pick 'em.
Look at it
-3.
If you're a Niner fan, take that point right now.
Yep.
Take it.
Do it.
You think it's going to move? You mean you're saying you think the line moves back?
Yeah, I think where one Trent Williams can go, announcement away from ding dong. Yeah. -1.5.
It's the kind of game where I wouldn't bet this game in any other way other than money line. I don't
sure. Yeah, of course. Especially if you look at the Rams Seahawks game. No, absolutely. No. You
win and you win, or you lose and you lose. I don't want to win, but I won, but we lost. I had 1.5 points. We lost by 1. But that is interesting.
It's hard. It's hard to stop the 49ers momentum right now. Maybe Seattle does it, and if they do, they will deserve to be the 1 seed. The winner of this game coming up on Saturday night absolutely deserves that week off. They really do. I think it would greatly benefit the 49ers. I think any even discussion of the 49ers reaching a Super Bowl is directly related to the week off, not them playing at home. I don't give a shit where the game is played. The Niners are better on the road than they are at home for the most part. So I don't care where the game is played. It's the week off that I think is valuable for this team's postseason chances more than anything else, especially with a Trent hamstring.
The week off is absolutely massive. And also one less game. Anybody can beat anybody in the NFL, so play fewer games. If you can play fewer games,
Yes.
you got a great chance. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome. I'm so excited for these NFL playoffs because, guys, I'll tell you, we always hit the week in the NFL. We probably should get your guys' thoughts on the week in the NFL. But all I would say about watching the games this weekend that stood out, one, I think the Lions are going to miss their Super Bowl window. I'm on record as saying that I don't think Dan Campbell is ever going to get that ring, that elusive ring. I think their window is going to open and close without them even really realizing it.
Doesn't matter if you have one ass cheek and 3 toes. I will beat your ass.
The other thing that I think has to be discussed at this point is it possible that all this talk about offense sells and we're looking at great offense, but is it possible that this is really just the Houston Texans year? Because I watched the Chargers, who absolutely partied the week before offensively, and Herbert looked awful, and the Chargers could not do anything. And Amarion Hampton averaged 2 yards a carry. And the Chargers offense, they had a turnover, a terrible Aronde Gadsden turnover. But, beyond that, Henry Toa, Kamari Lassiter, Azeez Al-Shaair, Jalen Petrie, Daniil Hunter, Will Anderson, that Houston defense, they started 0-3. They are 11-2 since starting 0-3. They're 11-5 on the year. They beat the Chargers at SoFi, and they kept the Chargers, held them to 16 points.
They suffocated them.
Is Houston the team that's going to rampage the AFC playoffs?
That's the team you wouldn't want to see in the Super Bowl should you get there.
I agree.
Well, with the D'Amico Ryans piece against the Niners.
Wait. What wins championships? What is that? What is it? Offense wins champion? No. Now, I think the best shot the 49ers have is like, here comes the Buffalo Bills to just somehow step on their own dick somehow.
Maybe New England. New England.
New England's, again, good team. They'll be well coached. They'll be well prepared. Drake May is playing unbelievable football. He really is. He might edge out Stafford in this MVP conversation.
Oh, let me please say something. Let me please say something about the MVP. The MVP this season, to me, is a runaway. And it's not a quarterback. Myles Garrett should be the MVP this season. Myles Garrett is going to do something historic. Myles Garrett's on a team that has nobody around him at all. He has wrecked the games that he has been a part of. To have games where he's had 5 sacks, 4 sacks in a game. Myles Garrett is so far and away the best player.
Imagine how good they would. Imagine, if they didn't have him, they might have won like 4 games.
It's a tough argument to make, except this.
No defender will ever win an MVP again. But I'm not saying you're wrong, Sammy, but it won't happen.
I just don't. And here's my problem. There's been no historic quarterback performances this season. I'm sorry, but if you tell me what team is game planning for a guy, it's Myles Garrett versus any of the quarterbacks you can throw at me for this season. I'm sorry, but Drake May.
How about Christian McCaffrey?
That's a better argument. I don't think there's how about this? Can I at least say this? And you can argue, you can talk me off a ledge. A quarterback should not win MVP this season. When you look at the quarterback performances from last season and how close it was and how exceptional Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson were through the entire season, that's an MVP. This season did not have a quarterback MVP. It just didn't. There was not a quarterback that was through every week of this season the best dominant player the way we've seen in years past. And there was a player who was historically dominant this season, and it was Myles Garrett. And if you want to talk about Christian McCaffrey, and of course, if he goes 1,000, yes, it's McCaffrey, it shouldn't be a quarterback. Let me just at least say that. My guy, if I'm throwing it in, is Myles Garrett. It shouldn't be a quarterback, period.
If the Seahawks are a 1 seed, Jackson Smith and Jigba should be in a conversation.
Yes.
Dude, you're leaving off Drake May, who just completed 90% of his passes. He's got 30 touchdowns and 8 picks. He's 23 years old. The kid is absolutely awesome. He should be the MVP. He's absolutely incredible. He's got a 112 rating. for the year. He's been amazing. I mean, 30 touchdowns and 8 picks. I mean
he's been the best quarterback. I just don't think he's the MVP.
Awesome.
He's been the best quarterback. He's not the most valuable player. Is that fair?
I think he is the most valuable player. I just think, I mean, you're taking a team that was not good last year.
That he was the quarterback of.
Right. But I mean, he was a rookie last year. He's stepping in this year with a team trying to turn the culture around. He's the leader. They have turned the culture around. I don't know, man. I would give it to Drake May. I know he's not a house.
It's going to go to him. It's going to go to him. No, it's going to go to him.
Yeah,
I'm here to say that I'm going to say that the season that we're going to talk about, if we talk regular season to our grandkids 30 years from now, we're talking about the historic season that Myles Garrett had. Drake May will not be that conversation.
I honestly don't think the Browns will come up in any conversation.
But if Myles Garrett is the all-time sacks leader, he's in a conversation.
He's had an amazing year. He's had an
incredible year.
But here's the thing about this. It's like there are games, and I've looked at many box scores in the last few weeks, where the team that sacks the quarterback loses. So it's like this, how important. I mean, the other thing is like you've got a sport now where if you do the 3-step drop and get the ball out, like Phillip Rivers or whatever, it's really hard to sack the quarterback sometimes. And like against the Niners, Myles Garrett had 1 sack. He was good, but he wasn't like, oh my God. So I don't know. It's weird.
But QB hits and pressures, he's also there. I mean, yes, the sacks are also adding up, but he's got all of the statistics that matter defensively. Myles Garrett has
There's an award for that, though. It's called the
Defensive Player of the Year. Yeah, but guess what? The Offensive Player of the Year can go to Drake May also, even though, again, McCaffrey, if he's 1,000, deserves all of this, and even if he's just under it. But there is Offensive Player of the Year also that you can give to a quarterback. I'm sorry. MVP, it's not an MVP.
Special.
Yeah.
He has been special.
There should be a good player in bad situations that he's not responsible for award. And if that were an actual award, there's only one unanimous winner this year.
Yeah,
I saw this yesterday. Sauce Gardner is about to become the first player to ever go 1-7 on one team, get traded, and then go 1-7 since the trade.
Unreal.
Dude, this guy was on the New York Jets, get traded to the Colts, and the Colts nosedive arrives after they've traded. The Colts push all in and lose 5 in a row, just like I told you, Sam. I told you.
Said no. We circled it. We went one by one.
Who had the worst year? Jets 3-13, still have no franchise quarterback. Browns go 4-12. Titans go 3-13. The Raiders go 2-14. Probably going to wind up with the first pick. Giants go 3-13.
The Giants feel like they've got the future.
Arizona Cardinals go 1-7 at home.
And now don't know what they're doing with Kyler Murray. It could be Arizona. I think Arizona's in the worst. Like, talk about next season. Like, what are you excited about next season? Arizona's in the worst spot. What are you excited about next season? Arizona's got the toughest conversation for their fans.
The Raiders are awful, and their coach is 100 years old, and their owner is, worried about, the appetizers at P.F. Chang's.
But Max Crosby and Ashton Genty, you can have a conversation about. And Arizona, what is your conversation?
Max Crosby wants out right now.
Fine, but right now he's a Raider. Ashton Genty is the future of this team. Arizona's a tougher conversation. Arizona's a tougher conversation.
By the time the Raiders get good, Ashton Genty will be done.
How good is Trey McBride, though? How good is Trey McBride? He just set the all-time record for receptions by a tight end for a team that does not have a quarterback or anyone else to even defend.
I told both of you this year, we had players to watch, things to watch this season. I said Trey McBride will be the Rob Gronkowski, Travis Kelce of this position, and he officially is. Period. George Kittle, he is that guy.
By the way, right now on the McAfee show, AJ Hawk and Schefter and McAfee are talking about how Robert Saleh is definitely going to get interviews for head coaching jobs. It's ironic because the defense stopped nobody last night. But John Lynch made the point on KMBR late in the week. He's like, we are going to do everything in our power to keep this guy. And there is no salary cap. This is the one area. There's so much money in the NFL. I'm really kind of quite surprised this doesn't happen more when you get a really top-tier assistant. And it's like most assistants get, 1 or 2 chances. He was with the Jets. He bombed out. He's going to get one more chance, maybe, right? So he probably shouldn't take the Raider job or any of these crappy jobs. He should wait for, like, John Harbaugh to retire and go to Baltimore. But if you're the Niners, what do you offer Robert Saleh? I mean, Shanahan makes like $12 million a year. Saleh, I think, makes like 3 or 4 to be the
All right,
DC.
Shanahan's making like 18. Come on, man. No, he's making more than that. He's making
I thought it was 12.
Fucking Signetti in Indiana is making 11. Come on.
Let me see. You can type that in to Google and find that out. Shanahan salary. Let's see what it spits out. 14. Yeah, so it's more than 12. So he's making 14.
He's underpaid. He's underpaid.
Do you say Robert Saleh? Here's 2 years, $25 million, and give him $12 million a year to be your DC? You have plenty of money. When you see teams on Black Monday, the day after the season, firing coaching staffs, the reason that is becoming more and more prevalent isn't because NFL owners are becoming more and more impulsive. It's because the money that they're given now is so great that you can buy off a coach and all of his assistants and have $75 million more to play with. I mean, the money is astronomical that's being shared in this sport. Maybe baseball should hey, you maybe notice that this actually works over here.
I don't think Robert Saleh is about to make a financial decision. I think he's about to make an opportunity decision. And if he finds an opportunity he's comfortable with, like, let's say, okay, so we know that Mark Davis is just forever fucking it up, but I do like Spy Tech. I do like a couple of the Raiders pieces. I certainly like a tax-free income state. I've already said it's not about money. I would like Tom Brady to say whatever you want about Brady. He's not an incompetent voice in the room.
Does he understand football? Yeah, of course. Tom Brady being there makes a difference, and something is going to change there with the Raiders. Something is going to change. The right voice is going to make a difference. Saleh's stock. Well, let me just say this much.
I would much rather be the man in waiting for John Harbaugh's job, for Andy Reid's job.
If you had one more shot at a radio job, would you put it on the equivalent of the Las Vegas Raiders? I'm going to go work for some part-time station that's not even really owned by anybody in the middle of, no, you have one more shot at a big-time radio. You're going to wait till like a real solid offer comes your way. You're not going to.
Well, he also has the scar of what's happened with the Jets.
Smooth grooves.
That's David. You could definitely be doing weather in a lot of places. This is very true. But look, Saleh understands the scar of going to the wrong organization because the Jets have clearly been that. Also, his stock is high because the Jets have proven to be no better with Aaron Glenn. That helps Saleh, right? If Aaron Glenn comes in and the Jets are vying for a Week 18 playoff spot, this is a different conversation. Saleh now, everybody gets to say it's a wash. What happened in New York, we're willing to just take off of your ledger. This is like going to traffic school and getting it expunged. The fact the Jets are that bad. So no one's holding it against him that he was a head coach that failed, which is what Robert Saleh was. Robert Saleh was a head coach who failed as a head coach. But he failed as a head coach. You look at the coaches that win Coach of the Year. They go to shitty situations. They turn those into playoff teams. That didn't happen with Saleh.
Here, wait a second. I don't know that I would agree with your assessment there. The Jets were the number one defense in football when he was there, and they sank like a fucking stone when he left, and Jeff Ulbrich ran that defense the rest of the way. I think Robert Saleh kind of, the Jets have been. You saw the record with him there. You saw the record with him since.
Yes, but Aaron Rodgers is playing for a playoff spot this week. He is. So you want to talk about no quarterback? Aaron Rodgers is playing for a playoff spot.
But he got hurt. He was hurt. He was out for the year. In week 1, he played a series.
And when he was back,
how many years did Robert Saleh get? 2, right?
Yeah.
3.
No, he got 3? No. He got partial, right? So it was 2.5.
Yeah, so first year Zach Wilson rookie, second year Aaron Rodgers out for the year, and he basically Zach Wilson just get out there. So I mean, I hear you, but I think he was undone by a horrible quarter. I mean, you got to have a quarterback.
3.5. By the way, 3.5 seasons. 3.5 seasons. 3.5 seasons. 3 full seasons.
He would not be Shanahan if he had to lean on Nick Mullins the whole time.
Which wide receiver has done more to fuck over his own team this year, Brandon Ayuk or DK Metcalf?
Oh, that's reprehensible.
DK Metcalf getting suspended for the dumbest punch thrown in football all year long for 2 games is the reason why the Steelers are playing for in and winning in, lose and out next week. They should have won against. They win in Cleveland with
and Myles Garrett, right? Myles Garrett. Also, again, I'll just throw his name on there. He had something to do with that as well. And Rodgers' hand ain't right. But again, my point would be Saleh at this point. I was agreeing and disagreeing with you, Larry, in a way. I was saying Saleh, the Jets thing we get to expunge because of the fact that Aaron Glenn doesn't know better.
When you're sitting down to interview Robert Saleh,
right?
The Jets' job doesn't even come up.
No, we're like, sorry about that, man. We don't want to put you in that position. We don't want to do that to you. We're here to offer you something that's greater than that.
He's got to pick his spot. I think he'll be real circumspect about it.
I wouldn't attach myself to bad ownership. And by the way, speaking of bad ownership, do you realize that right now the Tennessee Titans should have Malik Willis, Derrick Henry, AJ Brown,
Mike Vrabel,
all in the room. And they're all gone because of bad ownership. The Amy Strunk, whatever her name is. Good God, lady, get away from the team.
Adams, this is what happens when the idiot kids of rich people inherit the teams. These teams are so valuable that they all go to their idiot kids.
Look at the Raiders.
Most of these, I mean, Mark Davis had no role with the Raiders when Al was alive. That should speak volumes, really.
He was not groomed. He was not groomed to be the owner.
Oh, he was groomed to be the host at PF Chang's in Vegas. All right, let's hit some supers.
Look at all these supers. Oh my God!
Sammy, you want to hang for the supers? Or you want to jet?
No. I'll give it here. I got another 5. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Here we go. Well, we got 38 supers.
Okay, let's go. Let's go.
Here we go. We're going speed round on the supers. Only say something if you have something really interesting to say here. Here we go.
Speed break.
Fuji Simeon. Safe to say Trent is out for Saturday. We don't know yet.
Don't know.
Shanahan did not give an update on that. How was the media food, Larry? The media food yesterday was the best of times. It was the worst of times. The pregame meal was incredible. It was smoked brisket with real smoke rings. It was amazing brisket. And the guy cut me like 12 pieces. I probably had half a brisket just by myself. I was unbelievable. I mean, I had like multiple servings of brisket. The guy weighed me down. I'm like literally carrying my plate to the table. I'm like, I need a spot. Somebody spot me at the elbow. So the brisket, amazing. The pregame, amazing. The halftime chicken fingers, I mean, I always joke that they're Joe Montana fingers. These are like Y.A. Tittle fingers.
Oh,
I mean, these fingers were so dry. I mean, you could have poured a glass of water on this finger, and it was just, it was just awful.
It's absorbent.
This finger, I'm absolutely convinced, was put in the whatever they cooked it in when Mac Jones was starting, and is still in there when Brock Purdy's there. So
in an economy of time, I feel that we've spent a little bit too much time on this question.
Yeah, but I mean, that's
although I appreciate it.
I had to describe the Sahara desert dryness of these fingers. Fuji Simeon says, feeling better. Thanks for the game live stream.
I'm at least 50% better than the guy who hosted the live stream last night. I had a good night's sleep. The NyQuil kicked in. Got a bottle of Dayquil here that I've been tugging on for 2 days now. We're getting better. Thank you for asking. I got to be healthy in the Rose Bowl on Thursday, baby.
Bill Kennedy, does the defense win championships? Hope not. LOL. Yeah, we better hope not. You better hope not. We got this one from Fuji, who says, but Larry, Cam Newton has awesome hats on First Take. Yeah, that's all he has. That's all he has. He made a business decision. Dale says, I predicted 13-4 this year. However, that was not with all these injuries and constant game-to-game fill-ins. This is unreal. Why not us?
I mean, that's the thing. You know what I think everyone should be out of the business of? You should be all done with the business of telling me what the Niners aren't or can't do.
Yeah.
Like that, there's a lot of people who want to be the first to tell you how bad it's all going to be. And none of that has come true yet this year. I mean,
the Purdy haters are really having a hard one. They're really struggling. I mean, they're just sitting there going, I may just dump my YouTube channel and start over. Lick Scorpion says, First Take is an ass show. Yes, bad take show. Yeah, I mean, it's seriously. Find somebody who knows sports and put them on that show as soon as possible. Fuji Simeon, what does Cowherd, Wright, Florio, Sims, and Devin McCourty say now about Brock? LaShawn McCoy is giving Brock kudos now. Hope Pearsall has no injuries. Yeah, I mean, they're not, you know when they're going to give him his February 10th.
That's it. But that's guess what? He doesn't want it before then. He doesn't want it before then. He doesn't need it before then. Who gives a shit?
Seriously, those people are irrelevant. Dale says Brock needs to surpass Brady to get any flowers. I don't think that's the case, but that would be incredible if he ever did. Fuji, thanks, Larry. As a Reardon guy, I'm a visual learner, and I appreciate the visual examples. First Take didn't really mention that Purdy scramble touchdown pass.
Oh, the use check play that's the play of the season for the Niners, and it's on the. It really is. It's a top 10 play in the NFL this year,
and they didn't mention it. Dale says, "Why the fuck do we have to play on Saturday?" I know.
By the way, I love it. I love it. And I wouldn't argue. And by the way, I think they did that because there's the Rams, like if the Rams are then playing, that affects a little bit of the conversation. I think put it by itself, make this game comes down to everything. I love it. And I'm fine with Pittsburgh and Baltimore being Sunday night. I'll also say this much for week 18. There are 16 games on the slate. 14 of them, by the way, 15 of them could play a part in the playoff picture or the number 1 pick. 15. There's only one game that has no effect on anything. That's awesome. That's awesome.
Dom Pooney, by the way, in the post game, asked him about the Saturday, and he's like, "Yeah, 2 short weeks back to back. It's not the best, but bring it on. Let's go." And so I think that's kind of their attitude. Soulful Sound Station says, in August we asked, will Week 18 versus Seattle matter? Now we know. Yes, the '84 Dolphins tried to win it all with an explosive offense and an okay defense. Can we? Yeah, well, as long as you don't run into the '84 Niners, you might be okay. And I think there isn't an '84 Niners in this playoff field. So
there's not. And this year's Super Bowl champion will be instantly forgotten in the conversation of like great teams. It's just a pretty good football team will be this year's Super Bowl champion. Greatness is not applying for the
because
job.
There's not a great team to beat, right?
Yep.
What makes last year so interesting is that you have this Chiefs dynasty. There's no one to take down this year.
We got a good one here. Man Devil 74 throws $1.99 to us, and he says, in New Orleans for New Year's Eve, need a spot to watch the game Saturday. Okay, dude. Let me tell you, I was just there. The spot that you got to go is that unbelievable casino. I think it's Harrah's or Harvey. Well, I forget what it is. Harrah's. I watched Raiders Chargers Sunday Night Football there earlier this year during the Niners Week 2. It's a gigantic 4K screen. I sat there. I probably said 10 times to Kev and JD, I'm like, I want to watch football here. I mean, it was like awesome. It was the most. I had some money on that game, but I mean, I was watching baseball games. I had the Giants going on with Eldridge making his debut that night. So I'm watching the baseball. I got football. That is an incredible spot. The casino in downtown New Orleans is absolutely the spot. There's multiple steakhouses in there. There's different food options, killer drinks.
When in doubt, go to a sports book. The energy is just the best.
Yeah, the sports book energy is hard to beat, and that one's really good. I mean, that's real. They have the most amazing TV I've seen. Dale says, do you have a 3 tight end package? More Tonjes and Kittle, please. Yeah, I'd love to see that.
And by the way, yeah, the comparison should always be made. AM/PM created TMGS, the character with all the food all over his face. That's Tungus forever for me. Tungus.
This is Tonjes, but I hear you. Fuji says, do the 49er defense blitz more to pressure Darnold? You know what? That'll be interesting. I would say they may not blitz him at all. We've seen it all. We've seen them blitz 45%, 48%. We've seen them blitz 0%. So I would say
Will Alfred Collins make the most important defensive play of the season? I would argue he's got 2 of them already. I'm going to say Alfred Collins has the chance to wreck this game.
I'm going to say CJ West. CJ West is coming on. He played great yesterday. I say CJ West gets a little bull rush and gets in Sam Darnold's face.
Hey, this has been pretty much a criticism-free show. Bryce Huff, do something.
Please.
Like, seriously, dude.
Yeah, dude. I was thinking about that as well. He's playing too many snaps. If I was Robert Saleh, I may ask him about this week, would you consider putting somebody else out there on 1st and 2nd down to try to get Huff fewer snaps so that you get a true Huff performance on the snaps that he does play? Because right now he's playing so many snaps and he's playing so many early downs that he is essentially a non-factor.
We haven't said his name in a month.
Yeah, no, it's true. It's absolutely true. They need to, that's a good point, actually. That's kind of an insider point, but they need to reassess the plan with how to get the best out of Huff, I think.
You know who they should line up as defensive end instead of him? Christian McCaffrey. This guy just doesn't stop. Just play him everywhere. Play him. Christian McCaffrey can fill in for Jair Brown at safety when he's out. He can punt. He can do everything. Christian McCaffrey for every position. Play him everywhere.
There you go. Let him be the PA announcer in between. PWS, the last Niner game I remember being this crazy and high scoring was Niners Saints 2019 in the Dome, with both teams 10-2 and fighting for the number 1 seed. The Jimmy G, Drew Brees showdown. I mean,
it was like the George Kittle's play of one of the plays of his career in that game.
I think that was also the game that Ahmad. No, that was
no. That's
I'm thinking
backward.
Drew Brees and Ahmad Brooks, and that was a couple years before. Hakeem the Dream, 26. Lewis is the worst DB in the NFL. Who's that? Is he talking about?
You're talking about Chase Lucas?
Chase Lucas.
So he got turned around twice on one play and had a really bad rep. D. Winters in coverage got spun around by Colston Loveland. He had D. Winters almost lost that game last night. But okay.
D. Winters also had 11 tackles, so he was good. Ivan says, God bless you, Larry. Please tell my brother Isaac Purdy is an elite quarterback. Hey, Isaac, listen to me and listen to me good. Purdy's top 10. He's top 10. There's no doubt about that in my mind. Elite? Well, he's got to win that ring, but I would say top 10 for sure. Dale says, please talk about the 25 to 30 yard over the middle lasers Brock throws. The dude is top 5. At some point, they will have to admit it. Well, I have a feeling that he's going to win. When I'm around him, I feel like, dude, this guy's going to win the Super Bowl. I really get that vibe around him. And I don't know if he is or not, but if he does, they're going to have to give him his flowers. He almost got it done.
He only wants one flower. He only wants one flower, and he could very well get that.
Yeah. We got this one. Great dub by the offense. Ugly dub by the defense. The defense is not sustainable in the playoffs. Offense can't leave time on the clock in a 1-score game. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing as JJ's streaking down the field. I'm like, oh, my God, this defense is not going to be able to stop. And then they didn't really. It was the clock. It was the clock that stopped the Bears more than anything.
The Timex played some of the best defense of the night.
Yeah. Dale says, where are the Avengers now? Oh, Professor X is on the field now. Brock, Cerebral Brock. There we go. We got
very dorky. I like it.
I like it. D_low. Woo. Woo. Just a woo.
Thank you, woo.
We'll take it. Sean _ Vegas Knights says Kyle's play calling has improved as well. # Coach of the Year.
In his bag. I mean, that's what the kids say, right? And he's definitely in it.
Blood Moon in the house said BP, Brock Purdy, as soon as he took off his jersey and put his street clothes back on, he was over this game. Unbelievable. He's laser focused on Saturday. Now Brock Purdy wants this bad. Yeah, I mean, Brock Purdy's a great competitor. He's a great leader. And he's intense. I asked Don Pooney about it in the locker room. I'm like, what's Brock like in the huddle? And he's like, you know what? He always strikes the right chord. When we need him to be kind of calm and collected, he is. When we need him to jump somebody's, S and get in somebody's face, he'll do that. He'll be harsh when he needs to be harsh. He'll be uplifting when he needs to be uplifting. He says he always finds a way to say the right thing at the right time. Fuji said 49ers are also executing in the red zone this year. Yeah, they really are. They're a great red zone team, and they haven't even
third down. Larry, this is the best third down team in football since Brock's come back. They're crackerjack. Third down, man. They're incredible.
And they got money guys. I mean, let's be honest. Now you look at this weaponry: CMC, money; Kittle, money; JJ, money. I mean, those are their top guys. Harry Johnson, we draft Martin to replace Dre, but it's Bethune owning that role. Hits with anger. Yes, he does.
Collinsworth loved Bethune last night. That was Collinsworth. Just couldn't get enough of that. Yeah.
He shows up at the ball, man, and with angry disposition. KC says, shout out to Larry for his Monangai scouting report. You called it on him well before anyone else. Would have loved him in a Niner uniform. Oh, I loved him at Rutgers, man.
I'll tell you right now, if he had been a 49er, Shanahan wouldn't even be dressing him for fucking games.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. It's all, it's true. I mean, you need opportunity. Sean said, first game Brock won without Trent and Kittle playing. Oh, I remember people were like, yeah, he's one. Yeah, he's good. Yeah, he's this. Yeah. Well, let's see if he does it when he doesn't have any. Well, looks like he's doing it.
Let's see how good of a quarterback he is without wide receivers or blockers. That's the test he needs to pass before I'll even admit he's pretty good.
There are people that still don't think he's good. Excessive say that these last two games have had me running around my house like a maniac. So fired up for the 49ers. Not an ounce of worry after the pick to start the game. Well, that's good. There you go. There's one guy who's thinking positive. Fuji says, if it rains on Saturday, a lot of CMC running. Yeah, the forecast, Damon and Sammy, is, for it to rain. And it was beautiful today. But the rain supposedly is going to come later in the week, and it's not going to let up.
Little Brian Robinson. Brian Robinson as well.
Brock in the rain, never good. So hopefully that gets better.
Hopefully Sam Darnold turns into cotton candy in the rain. Fuji Simeon, that Pearsall block on JJ touchdown pass was nice. Yeah, I mean, that was beautiful. That really was. He picked him off and cleared the side, and JJ streaked into the end zone. We got this. Okay, we got that one. Ben Diesel said 49ers are ascending at the right time. This team is stepping up and playing with grit. Love to see it go Niners. Travis Stewart says, F you, Larry. Have a great show, gents. Thank you, Travis. Dale says some players have heart. JJ is all heart and is overlooked.
He's a dog.
He is a dog with a W. McFadden says someone do a wellness check on Colin Cowherd. Oh, that is awesome. Seriously, he's sitting. How can I twist this into a video? Come on,
by the way, there's nobody better at it. Colin will find a way. And
he'll find a way.
Colin finds a way to be right more than he's wrong.
Somebody's writing his takes as we speak. Fuji Simeon.
Oh, stop it.
Fred Warner is itching to come back from injury. I saw Fred walking out of the stadium last night, and I'm like, man, that was a game. He's like, yes, sir. He had a little bounce in his step. I think he wants to come back bad. I discounted it, but you know what? Maybe he can make it happen. Maybe he can prove me wrong. I've been wrong before. I don't know if I've mentioned that. Tony says, CMC, if he doesn't get comeback player of the year, I'm convinced the NFL hates the Niners. Well, won't it go to like Dak Prescott or somebody? Didn't Prescott tear out his knee? And somebody said that he was going to win the comeback. Dale says, Sam's mic always so much louder than everyone else's. Oh, Sam,
he's a producer. He knows what he's doing. Larry and I have no freaking clue what we're doing.
There you go. We got this one from Sons of Johnny Lamaster. Happy holidays. Rain is forecasted for Saturday. Who has the advantage?
I mean, Seattle's used to rain, right?
A little more custom.
Seattle's used to rain for sure. But, the 49ers are at home. As long as that place is rocking the way it rocked last night in the second half, I like the Niners' chances. I just don't believe Brock Purdy's losing to Sam Darnold. Brock Purdy is the master. Sam Darnold is the pupil. And I don't think the pupil beats the master here. Joseph says, in a football season where it feels like it's wide open, all we need is the 1 seed. And I think we go to the Super Bowl. Thanks for the show, fellas.
Thank you, Joseph. I'm telling you, that week off, that week off, I think is the reset that they will need to take off from the launching pad and reach something as special as the Super Bowl. Without it, I don't know if they can get there. With it, maybe, really.
I got a buddy who's a rich CEO who's got a pimp pad that overlooks Levi's Stadium, and he wants us to do a show Super Bowl week from his house.
Wow.
And I thought of you, Damon, because your friend in Vegas, basically we did the same thing for the Super Bowl there. Stefan lived in this killer pad over, I forget
the
what
Aria.
Yeah. And it was like a glass wall. We did a show like up against a glass wall. Vegas.
I mean, we really wanted to have like this big Vegas backdrop behind us, but again, because we're not producers, we were backlit as hell, and it looked like we were coming to you from a cloud in heaven more than it looked like we were in Vegas. But
yeah, that's true.
Tell your buddy there's a finder's fee attached to that, and maybe if he pays it, we'll come.
Yeah, seriously. Well, he's got the money for sure. PWS is also remember the ending to Seattle Niners week 1. Yesterday's ending gave me similar vibes to that game. Oh yeah, I mean, Ton just attacked the ball in the air. Buster Bradamus says the tool Nick Wright sucks donkey nards.
He's wrong about Brock Purdy yesterday. He's wrong about Brock Purdy today. He'll be wrong about Brock Purdy tomorrow. At least he's consistent.
I think I was in 4th grade the last time I used NARDS.
That's a really good pull.
I gotta bust out NARDS more. I gotta use NARDS more. I just feel like I'm under narding. Hype says keep the content going. Larry and Damon, you guys are the all-star sports duo. Been listening to you guys since KMBR.
Thank you.
Yesterday, I didn't even tell you this, Damon. So the presser ends, right? Shanahan walks to the left, and I walk to the right because I'm going towards the KMBR studio. And there's all the people lined up there for the players to come out, and some of the players CMC signing, and one guy's like, "Krug, love the show," and another guy goes, "Wake up!" like this, "Wake up!" Just like that. And his wife looks at him kind of funny, and he just 2 hands in the air, "Wake up!"
Love it.
It was a great moment.
Love it.
It was a great moment. All right, we got this one. Fuji, wait, Mark Davis loves PF Chang's and has that haircut? Yes, and yes. He loves PF Chang's more than he loves the Raiders, probably. Harry Johnson says history repeats 2019, week 17 versus Seattle for the number 1 seed. Oof, bring it on. Bring it on. Where's Dre Greenlaw to make that tackle? Stefan Niners says first Super Bowl champ with 0 pass rush. Seriously, well, wouldn't it be ironic as hell, dude, if the 49ers, who when John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan took control of the franchise, were like, we want to build the state-of-the-art defensive line. We want to impact games on the defensive line. We want to have a defined defense about a dominant line. And here they are. What if they win the Super Bowl with a line that couldn't sack me?
With the worst defensive line they've had probably in the history of the franchise, if sacks are how you measure things.
Right. I mean, that would just be so. That would be the only. There's an irony to sports, and we see it sometimes, and that right there could be it.
So you didn't need the defensive line. You didn't need Trey Lance. You didn't. Well, here's what's crazy.
Right.
I mean, it's just unbelievable. So Purdy is the first quarterback in franchise history to register at least 300 passing yards, 3 touchdowns, and 2 rushing touchdowns in a single game. Not Kaepernick, not Trey Lance, not Jeff Garcia, Brock Purdy.
Unbelievable. Unfreaking believable. We should take this opportunity as well to say thank you to our friends at Sleeper. Thanks to Sleeper for sponsoring our shows. Damon's show and my show, both sponsored by Sleeper. 49er football season on the Krug Show is presented by Sleeper, the fastest growing fantasy platform in the world. It's a one-stop shop. You get blazing fast news, real-time stats, group chat, season-long leagues, and of course, Sleeper picks for daily fantasy. So use promo code Larry on my end, and Sleeper will match your first deposit up to $100. Links in the description. Terms and conditions do apply. And thanks to Sleeper for being a proud sponsor of the Krug Show.
Thank you. And by the way, you talked about brisket without saying pig in a pickle, so let me just do it. Pig in a pickle. This is funny right here. Jan says, after fuck them picks, here comes fuck that defense.
It's funny, Damon. I gotta. Is that possible? No, somebody just called me. I haven't heard from him in a long time. No, but I got to throw this to you.
Mr. H? Was it Mr. H?
No, it was Bill Bungeroth.
What?
Yes. So I got to call him back after the show. But listen to this. Listen to this. This is one of my YouTube channel fans sent me this. It's a picture, if you can tell, of his little guy. I don't know if you can tell.
Can't really see.
He's taking a leak, right? Is he taking a leak?
So he's dragging his blanket across the floor, and he says this to his mom and dad.
Can you say that one more time for Daddy?
You cannot buy that. You cannot buy that.
That's commercial.
I mean, right there. I mean, is that an advertisement to advertise on YouTube channels? When your 4-year-old knows the tagline of Pig in a Pickle,
that's working.
It's working. It is.
By the
working.
way, she's one of us, Larry. One of us, Sam. the old school radio veteran Kim Schaefer, Bill Bungaroff. That's a flashback.
Yes.
She's been cumulist in her day.
Oh,
She
for sure. That is classic.
Kim, always great to have you here. Thank you.
He goes, he said, Larry, Bill Bungaroff, I've been watching Niners-Bears game. I'm in Chicago. Give me a call. Love to catch up. Talk to you
Amazing.
soon.
Amazing.
Bill
Bungaroff is the reason I had a second go-round at KMBR.
You should ask Bill, who was in his office every day saying, bring back Larry.
So you know what he said to me, Sammy? He said, because he came from IP
Right.
in Philly, right?
Yeah.
He said to me, he goes, you know what? If Philly can forgive Michael Vick, San Francisco can forgive Larry Krueger.
Wow. And look, the fact that it's at that level, I would say yes, let's give you a little bit more credit than that, but it is so true, Larry, because the performance in the end will quiet everybody.
Unbelievable. Bill Bungaroff. Love that guy. Okay, we got this one. My $1,700 bet is still alive for the Niners to win out.
Screwed me over with Radnich, so bring that up too. But go ahead.
Well, you know what? He saw talent. We got this one from Nicholas Para. He says, what a season so far and what a game. Why not us? Great coaching, execution on offense. Greatest coaching and execution on offense I've ever seen. Purdy, CMC, O-line, just wow. Bang, bang. Dude, that was awesome. I saw somebody doing a video, Damon and Sam, walking through Indianapolis, and they were going up to Niner fans, and they were just saying, bang, bang. And then they were, and of course, people were going, Niner gang. And then a couple guys are like, I'm unaware of this bang, bang thing that you're.
No.
He's like, really? You guys got Niner hat, Niner shirt?
No, get on it. Get on it.
Yeah. PWS, I meant 2019.
Yep.
Week 17, LOL, but yeah, also week 1, 20.
We got you.
No, but 26-21 final. 26-21 final in Seattle. Yeah, what a game.
What a game. Working. Amrit Singh says, bang, bang. We got this game in the bag. I've got seasons and 6 seats in section 101 for Saturday night's game. If anyone wants them, reasonable pricing. Look at that. You need tickets. Amrit Singh.
If you're a Seahawk fan, need not apply.
Yeah. Dave Softy Mahler, fuck off. All right. Sean says, chances Kittle and Trent play Saturday. Kittle for sure is going to go. Kittle's going to play. I don't think there's any doubt about that. As far as Trent, I don't know. I don't know about Trent. We'll get an update today at some point from Kyle Shanahan on Trent Williams. And we'll know more. The one thing that we didn't get a lot in the post game yesterday, guys, was we didn't get a lot of injury information at all from Shanahan. We also should say before we get out of here, thank you to Habas Law for being a proud sponsor of the Krug Show. 1-800-INJURED. They will fight to make it right. Omar and Tarek Habas, great guys. If you've been injured and you want to win, there's only one call to make. Habas Law. HabasLaw.com on the web. Habas Law, they will fight to make it right. 1-800-INJURED. Thanks to Habas Law for being a proud sponsor of the Krug Show. Really appreciate those guys. They've done a great job as a sponsor on the Krug Show, and we appreciate Habas Law an awful lot. So thanks to Habas Law. Guys, we'll give you the final word. Let's go around the table before we get out of here. We're exactly an hour and 45 minutes into our stream. We've gone a little bit longer than we typically go, but Sammy's in the house, and there's more to get to after a great win. 2,800 people watching on all platforms. Please hit like and subscribe. As I said, if you've hit like and subscribe here, thank you very much. If you've done it on Damon's The Plus channel, thank you very much. Sammy's channel is Thinking Out Loud with Sammy and Siciliano. And we appreciate all you guys. Hit a like and subscribe on all 3 channels and support us across the board if you could. We really do appreciate the support. All 3 of us do. All right, Sammy, Damon, let's finish up with our final thoughts on the day. Well, there we
Damon,
go.
you go. You kick it, Damon.
Hey, the only thing more fun than Victory Monday and a whole bunch of happy 49ers fans in the chat is coming and working with friends, and it's always great to hang out with you guys. It's been a hell of a 2025. It's been a trying year. It's been an interesting year. I'm looking forward to turning the calendar page to 2026. this 49ers team is not for the weak or the faint-hearted. This is, you got to buckle in and prepare for a bumpy ride with every single game they play, and it's really been worth it, and it's been an awful lot of fun. And there's no reason to start doubting them now. This was just a great, great night of football. And I just want to share with you, finally, the drive chart of last night is something else. An interception returned for a touchdown on the first play, followed by touchdown, punt, 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 touchdown, 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 punt, end of half, touchdown, 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 punt, field goal, touchdown, game ends on turnover on downs. What a night. What a game. Unbelievable. So
you're not going to find a better game. You're not going to find a better game. Damon, I love that. And all I want to say, Larry, is, being here in LA, being at ESPN LA, which is the Rams station, I was saying it weeks ago, but certainly the moment Seattle won that game against the Rams, I said to everybody, none of you are going to be dissecting it this way, but I promise you the Niners will be the 1 seed in the NFC. And even the Rams fans, as tied in as they were, couldn't really quite see it at that point because everyone's so locked in on Seattle. And I said, just trust me, it's going to stack up that way. And I want to see it happen. I've got my own flyer now on Niners winning the Super Bowl. 2 weeks ago, I put it in before Vegas had realized and everybody realized where the Niners were in the mix. It's going to look real nice if that win comes through on Saturday.
Your final words. One last came in here from Kelvin. Chris Collinsworth makes me want to throw up. He hates the Niners. You can hear it in his voice. Well, he hates any game that he can't blow Patrick Mahomes in, so he wasn't playing last night. He talks so much he must drive his wife crazy. There you go. It's a little Chris Collinsworth goes a very long way.
Well,
and his untalented son, I don't. Why?
As far as Chris Collinsworth, he has a reason to hate the Niners. He'd be wearing 2 Super Bowl rings if it weren't for the Niners. The Niners beat Collinsworth twice in the biggest game, and he's walking around sitting there talking about winning the Super Bowl, a Super Bowl that he's never won, and he got so close to it. But Joe said, no, it's not your bowl to win.
Give him
my bowl to win. Yeah, I'll say this. You win in the NFL when you have a great head coach and a great quarterback, and I think the 49ers have both, and I think this is their year. I'm going to leave it on that note. Thanks to Sammy. Thanks to Damon. Thanks to our sponsors. Thanks, most importantly, to all of you. If we don't talk to you before the next couple days, Happy New Year.
Wake up!
2025 has been an awesome year. Awesome year. It's been an awesome year for me. It's been an awesome year for Damon. It's been an awesome year for Sammy. We hope it's been an awesome year for you and your families. We really appreciate you guys bringing us into your homes and your vehicles and on your phones by supporting our channels. And we're humbled by it, and we appreciate every single one of you. So for Sammy, for Damon, I'm Larry. Have a great day. Go Niners. Why not us? Let's fucking go.